Hey there, if you're not closing at least 1 to 3% of your Facebook leads for real estate, check out this video because I'm going to go into the biggest mistakes most real estate agents make when trying to convert these leads. Let's jump into it. Folks, Facebook continues to be one of the biggest and best opportunities for generating business online for real estate agents. The reason being, it can be a very scalable way to generate buyers and sellers. Another thing, it's one of the lowest cost opportunities out there to generate business. And another big reason that is becoming more and more evident as the market shifts right now, Facebook is one of the best ways to generate buyer leads. And as things change from a year ago to now, buyers are becoming more and more valuable because if you have a qualified buyer, they have factored in interest rates, they factored in anything going on in the market, and you want to talk to more of them because working with buyers right now is way easier than it was 6 or even 12 months ago. Why? Because inventory is going up, buyers have much more negotiating power, sellers are willing to accept concessions, sellers are willing to accept VA loans, FHA loans, USDA loans. Buyers are having more leverage than they have had in years. So you want to talk to more buyers, and Facebook continues to be one of the best and most efficient ways to generate qualified buyer leads. For all those reasons and more, you want to be trying out Facebook leads for real estate ASAP. Generating buyer leads for Facebook can be relatively simple, not always easy, but definitely simple. But one of the biggest mistakes people make when trying out Facebook leads for real estate for the first time is they can make a big mistake by not realizing that they might be talking to what we call a top of funnel lead. Top of funnel, what does that mean? You got to understand what Facebook is. Facebook is not a place to browse properties or buy homes. Facebook is a social media network. You're on Facebook to look at pictures from your friends, from your family, from your nephews, your kids, your grandkids, etc., right? That's why people go to Facebook. When they see your ad, a high converting ad for real estate on Facebook, it catches their attention. They click on it, probably on their phone, and they give you their information in exchange for something else. But the reality is, they might be typically 6 to 12 months out from making that purchase. 6 to 12 months out. A big mistake most real estate agents make is that they don't realize that. They use the wrong approach when talking to these leads. What you need to be doing, the number one thing you need to focus on when converting leads from Facebook is that you shouldn't go directly for the appointment on the first contact. The goal for your first contact with a Facebook lead is not to always close for the appointment. It is to show them some value. You need to teach them something they don't know. That should always be the goal on first contact with Facebook leads. And always assume that they're top of the funnel. If they tell you that they're a year out, that they're just getting started, do not meet that with disappointment and some inappropriate objection handler. Always tell them, that's great, that's awesome. I love working with people that are just getting started, and show them a way you can add a value regardless if they're just getting started with the process. If you take that approach, that mindset with a Facebook lead, you are much more likely to be successful with them, and you are much more likely to have them return your call and answer your next text message as you convert them bit by bit. Another mistake people make when using these leads from Facebook is that they use the exact same script and approach as if the lead were coming from their database as a referral or as a high converting lead like a Zillow or a Realtor.com lead. Do not make that mistake. A typical script for someone coming from Zillow can be, are you pre-approved? Do you want to go see the property? When do you want to go out there and see homes? That is not the right approach to use with a Facebook lead. Asking a lead from Facebook without knowing who they are or what they're looking for or where they are in the process, if you ask them about pre-approvals, about going to see homes, they are very unlikely to work with you. It might be too early for them. They don't know you enough to actually trust you with that information. You shouldn't be asking those questions. It's a big turnoff for most of them. They are going to ghost you. You're going to talk to them one time and they're no longer going to want to interact with you going forward. Don't get caught in that trap. Use a different approach. Ask them about what they want, but ask it differently. A question that I love that I got from Coach Barry Jenkins is you should be asking them, well, what would you change about your current home? Regardless of where they are in the process, they can answer that question because everyone, even though they might not know the amount of bedrooms and bathrooms they want in a new home, you certainly know what you don't want about your current home. Ask questions that they can answer even if it's early in the process. And if you can get them talking to you and start adding value, even if they're a year out, they are much more likely to work with you. Another big mistake agents can make when working leads from Facebook and probably leads from the internet in general is they have the wrong expectation on conversion rates. If you're going from a business that is driven by referral and recommendation and starting out with Facebook leads for real estate or internet leads in general, you've got to adjust your expectations. When I was working my database, I did over 100 transactions in my first 3 years in the business, almost all of them from my sphere of influence. My conversion rate when someone gave me a referral was 80 to 90% to closing the transaction because that person already knew, liked, and trusted me, or they knew someone that already knew, liked, and trusted me. It's very different when folks come from the web. They do not know, like, and trust you yet. They don't know you, so conversion rates are going to be very different. The agents that do this at the highest level with leads from Facebook will convert about 50% of buyer leads that they actually meet with. They can convert 50% of them to signed clients. When you're talking about leads like seller leads coming from Facebook, the top agents that have their systems on point, their scripting on point, will convert 25 to 30% of the seller leads that they get, that they actually meet with, right? It's a very different set of expectations, but you can be wildly successful if you get those kinds of conversion rates. Do not get caught up in the differences between your database and internet leads. They're completely different games. They convert very differently. The reason you should invest in Facebook leads for real estate, though, is that it is much more scalable than your database. It's hard to double or triple your database in a year's time. You can absolutely double, triple, 10x the amount of Facebook leads for real estate you get by increasing your budget and keeping your conversion rates constant. It is one of the best ways to scale up a real estate business right now. Last but not least, one of the biggest mistakes that I see when trying to convert Facebook leads is that people do not have the proper follow-up system in place. They underestimate the amount of work it takes to get in touch with these leads and convert them. You should have a system in place to touch a Facebook lead 15 to 16 times in the first 30 days. 15 to 16 times within the first 30 days. And at least 5 or 6 of those touches should be phone calls. You cannot just automate yourself away from this problem. At least 5 to 6 calls have to be made within the first 30 days. Otherwise, you have no shot at contacting these leads and actually delivering your follow-up and doing your value proposition with them. Really important to understand that. Put in the work. Get the automation. Get someone helping you with those calls. Hire an ISA. Get a pay-per-lead service. But make sure you're putting in the effort to convert these leads. Otherwise, it's going to be a huge waste of resources. That's it, folks. Check it out. If you thought this video was useful and valuable, crush that subscribe button. We release a new video every single week. And if you need help getting a great, experienced inside sales agent, making calls for you and avoiding some of these mistakes, and you want to pay them $5 to $6 an hour, reach out to us, book a call with our team. We'd love to help you do that.